Hello, this is Wmpyr here to talk about realistic self-defense. And the first thing that usually comes up is fight or flight, right? That's what people say. That's what's going to go through your system when you're in a real-life street situation. And I'm going to add one more. It's fight, flight, or freeze. It's three, okay? At the triple Fs. So fight, flight, or freeze. The important thing that I recommend is that for each one of those, you may have a tendency to do one more than the other, okay? And that just depends on you, your personality, your previous experiences, and whatnot. It doesn't mean that it's the correct choice, okay? And so let me talk about real quick about fight. If you have a tendency to fight, you definitely want to control that because a lot of times it could mean that you have an anger problem, okay? And most of the time in a street altercation, fighting is not necessary. We think it is. We think we need to prove ourselves. We think we need to, I'm not going to let this guy treat me as a chump, whatever the case. But a lot of those things are not necessary. And the important thing is survival and protection. So don't get involved, with this person calls you names or gives you a dirty look or who knows what, having a bad day and they mistreat you, you don't need to stand up to that. So fighting is not necessary a lot of times, all right? That's what I'm trying to say. And if you do have the tendency to fight, you want to control that because it may not be the right thing to do. Like the other day, I was in the yard doing yard work and a solicitor came by. And my natural response was to fight, okay? And I had to tell myself, don't fight this dude. This is stupid. This would be really, really bad if I did, and it could land me in jail or something. So don't do it. And I was able to control it. All right. The other thing is you might actually need to fight. Maybe they're holding you down. Okay. So in that case, you got to fight them off of you, but then don't keep fighting. You need to run away, okay? If you keep fighting, you get suckered into fighting, and that would be a mistake. So with the fighting, once again, you want to be able to control it, okay? Number one is it the right time to fight? And B, if it is, do you need to keep fighting? A lot of times the answer is no. Fight just enough to create that space and get away, okay? So that's the next part. If you get suckered in, now you're really involved and you're stuck in that situation. So it could be very bad for you. So the next one is flight. Flight is running away. I would say most of the time running away is a good choice. Now, is running away the best option? No, it's not, because there are times where running away, it's the bad time to do it. Okay, like you guarantee to give them your back, you guarantee for them to take you down, and you just made it easy for them to take you out. Like basically imagine on the Discovery Channel, the lion taking out the gazelle. So you don't want to run at the wrong time for sure, okay? But most of the time, running is a good idea, okay? And if you feel like, well, if I run all the time, does that make me a coward? Well, then that is a separate issue. So don't test yourself, test to see, am I a warrior? Don't test yourself in a street. That's a wrong time to find out, okay? You want to test yourself to see if there's a warrior inside of you, to see if you can access that warrior inside of you. You should be training, okay? The street is not the time to try to figure that out, okay? The street is not the time for figuring stuff out. It's the time for just doing, getting out of there and surviving, okay? So that's flight. The third one, freeze, okay? And look, one thing I got to make clear is that for any one of us, fight, flight, or freeze can happen to any one of us. I don't care how trained you are, how calm you are, how used to violence you are. Any one of those could happen for whatever reason. Who knows? It could just be a certain day that you're just having an off day or something. So even though 90% of the time you have a tendency to fight, that one day where you really needed it and the rest you didn't, that one day you really needed it, you end up freezing. You never know, okay? So the important thing is identifying in that moment, in a real life situation, which one am I doing right now? Am I running away? Am I fighting? Or am I freezing up? Identify what's happening to you. Then next is being able to control it. Do I need this? Should I be running away? Wait, I just left some people that I really care about. I can't do that. I got to go back. So you got to stop your running. Or, whatever the case, control it, okay? And then see, is it the right time for this? Do I need to keep doing this, okay? And then for freeze, this is, if you have a tendency to freeze, and this could, once again, happen to anyone, if you start freezing up, you start getting tense, and you're like, oh crap, oh no. A, identify it. B, now we got to do something about it. And the thing to do about the freezing is, what I like is, what has helped me throughout the years is traditional karate kata training. Okay, for me that's been the best, where you do the kata training really tense, really slow, tense, flexing all your muscles, and there might be within that tension where you're going, you're doing that kind of thing, where you explode fast and then go back to super tense, okay? It's a very intense workout exercise, and the erratic breathing that you're doing and all that, to me, has been the number one best thing for this freeze type situation. Now, compared to like MMA, is it a good way to fight? No, of course not. If you look at full contact karate, they don't fight like that, right? But this is traditional kata training, right? Not full contact karate. This is traditional karate kata training. Once again, I feel like it's good when you're in that situation where you're frozen up and you find yourself like you're super sluggish, like you're starting to like ice up and you can't move, to be able to still operate within that. I feel like that is the answer. So that's my recommendation personally. So that's it for now. Thank you for viewing, and take care, folks.